Hello, friends. My name is Charlotte, and welcome back to An Imperfect Mess, Living for the Lord. This is episode 15, The Potter's Hand, When God Expands the Vision. Today I want to share something that has been stirring in my heart for a while now. For over a month, I stepped away from the podcast. Life was busy: college, family, church, caregiving, sickness, and just being tired. At first, I thought I was simply burned out. But as I prayed and sought the Lord, I began to realize something. That what I thought was burnout may have actually been the potter reworking the clay. Sometimes when God is preparing us for something greater, He slows us down. He pulls us away from the noise. He begins working in places we cannot see. And that is what I want to talk about today. Jeremiah 18:4 says, "And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So he made it again another vessel, as seemed good to the potter to make it." Notice that clay never left the potter's hand. It was marred. It was imperfect. It had flaws, but it never left his hand. As I prayed about this podcast and where God was leading it, I began to feel something changing. When I started the podcast, my heart was to help women who were struggling, women who felt forgotten, women who carried guilt from their past, women trying to find their way back to God. And that mission is still there. But lately, I have felt God stretching that vision, expanding it, if you will. Not changing the foundation, but enlarging the tent. Because there are prodigals listening. There are fathers listening. There are mothers listening. There are grandparents praying. There are people sitting in prison cells. There are people carrying shame, addiction, regret, and heartbreak. And God is saying, I want them too. Expansion can feel uncomfortable. We can get used to what is familiar. We get comfortable with what we know. But sometimes God begins pulling on the edges of our understanding because He sees people we cannot yet see. The potter knows that the clay is becoming before the clay understands. He sees the finished vessel. He sees the purpose. He sees the ministry. He sees the lives that will be touched. And while we're wondering why things feel different, He is already shaping the next season. During personal reflection, looking back, I realized God has done this throughout my life. There were seasons when I thought everything was falling apart, but later I discovered God was simply reshaping me. There were seasons when I thought I was being set aside, but God was preparing me. There were seasons when I thought He was silent, but He was working beneath the surface, just like a potter, just like the magnolia tree before it blooms, just like clay in His hands. I want to encourage you today. Maybe you feel like your life is being reshaped right now. Maybe things don't look the way you expected. Maybe God is asking you to trust Him in a season that feels uncertain. Friend, don't be afraid of the potter's hand. The potter is not trying to destroy the clay. He is creating something beautiful. What feels like pressure today may actually be preparation. What feels like delay may actually be development. What feels like loss may actually be God making room for something greater. If God is expanding your vision, trust Him. If He is reshaping your heart, trust Him. If He is reworking areas of your life that seem broken, my friend, trust Him. Because the clay is safest in the potter's hand. And the beautiful thing is this: God is not finished with you yet. And in closing, our prayer. Lord, thank you for never letting us go. Thank you for being the potter and for loving us enough to keep shaping us into what you have called us to be. Help us trust you when we do not understand the process. Help us surrender to your will and your timing. Expand our vision according to your purpose. Use our lives for your glory. In Jesus' heavenly name, amen. Thank you for joining me today in Imperfect Mess Living for the Lord. Until next time, remember, you may still be a work in progress, but you're still in the potter's hands. God bless you. May the Lord keep you and encourage you in Him. Have a blessed day.